The reason I opened up my restaurant, actually, it goes back a little bit ways to answer this question. I originally bought a restaurant. This was not my career. My career was in the automotive industry. I ran large car dealerships for many years, and very stressful. But I always had in the back of my mind that I wanted to open a restaurant one day, and didn't know where it was. I came and visited Panama a little bit, but went back to work. And just one day, I was happened to sit in my office and, out there selling cars and people grabbing ups and trying to close people. And I went on to Craigslist, believe it or not. This is in 2014. Went on to Craigslist and just looked up Panama. And believe it or not, there was a restaurant for sale. And this was in Boquete. I sent in an inquiry just haphazardly and didn't hear nothing back. It was a month later when I got a phone call. I didn't know who the heck it was. I looked at my phone. What the heck? Where is that coming from? But I answered it. And it was a gentleman saying, "Oh, you sent in an inquiry on restaurant." I said, "Oh, yeah, I did. Okay." And as things turned out, I had a what people would just say, an unbelievable job. But I had had enough, to be honest with you. And I didn't know how to do it. I was responsible for a lot of people. And, I had to come down to look at it. But I couldn't take a lot of time off either. And I literally left Washington, D.C. on a Wednesday night and took a flight at 3:30 and landed into the city. And then in the morning, I flew out to David because the restaurant was actually in Boquete. And I flew to David that morning, get the restaurant, had lunch there at 12, got back to Panama City that night and flew back at night on an 8 o'clock flight, back to work on Friday. I was in Panama for a day, but you know what? I said, to hell with this. I'm doing this. A week later, after thinking about it, I gave a 4-month notice and was in Boquete for a while, and 3 years I had a restaurant. But to be honest with you, I love Boquete. I love it, and I go back and visit it, but it's a little small for me. I'm a city boy. And at the time when I sold it, my plan was not to have her open a restaurant. It was just to write a book, come back to the city where I found myself visiting more often, and I did that. And I sat up in an apartment in El Cangrejo and literally relived my life and wrote a book. It was about my life. I've been fortunate to do a lot of things and shared that in a book. And then, but nothing to be published, did it for myself. But then I decided I'm going to go back to the States. And this is probably where a lot of people that, are looking at Panama or thinking about retiring. I don't know that I did it right, and I saw a lot of people, especially in Boquete, where a lot of people go, have these visions and going to do everything. And then 3-4 months later, sometimes even shorter, they're out and they're back. This wasn't what they expected. For me, I thought I could maintain, things. Okay, I'll go back. I had a home in Florida and I'll come back and visit Panama. And I did. I went back to Florida, but sometimes life throws you a curve. And I got hit by a curveball that wasn't expected. And I was just working out, having fun, going to the pool, and my back went out. And I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible, but it's a good story for people that sometimes you just don't expect things. You can have all the plans you can have in the world, and then somebody throws you a curveball you're not expecting. My back went out. I was in so much pain for 2 years. I never thought I would see Panama again. I was one of those people that, unfortunately, they drugged me up with all these pills and stuff like that. And I'd never really been sick or in pain in my life, but I was in unbelievable pain. And opioids, fentanyl, you name it, they gave them to me. 2 surgeries later, which probably weren't useless. I just remember going, God, I just want to go back to Panama. And I said, I said, you know what? If I could ever get on a plane and sit comfortably, that's what I'm going to do. I just said, to hell with this. One day I just took no more, decided I'm not going to take a pill, and it's hard to get off of them, and I did. Came back January of last year and decided I'm going to open a restaurant. Looked at many places, found a place on Calle Uruguay, and got a designer. Beautiful restaurant, had design. And then, of course, as everybody knows, pandemic came out. And then March 16th, I remember the day I said, they're closing the airport on the 7th. I don't think I can stay here. I'm not sure where the hell I'm going to be, what's going on. And I left the night before Tacaman closed down. And good thing, as we all know, if you're in Panama, probably one of the strictest lockdowns ever. But I made it a commitment to myself, when this breaks down, and after all the hell I had been through with pain and stuff like that, I'm coming back here and opening a restaurant. There's your answer. I guess more so for everybody. We all have stories. We all carry we all have our bag of crap of things that happen to us or whatever. I clean that up for you. And things you don't expect. And a lot of people that come here, probably a lot of people that watch your videos, are people that are thinking about where to go and what to do. And, but you don't prepare for the unexpected sometimes and changes course. So, but that's how, I knew that I felt good here. And, when they opened up the airport, that was also October 16th, 12th or 16th. I immediately bought a ticket, sold my home in Florida, and moved here. And moved here with 2 bags, not the ones under my eyes, two luggage bags. And immediately started looking around for restaurants and locations. Of course, the whole city was closed down, and all the restaurants, I don't know what percentage, but had to be at least 50%. Were out of business. Casco Viejo was completely shut down. I looked at so many. So that's how I ended up in Panama. And the answer behind it was I probably didn't retire right, because I'm a man with a lot of energy, and I thought sitting around maybe hanging out at the beach and doing nothing might be good, but that ain't me. Well, we're going to make an offer here. We're going to make you an offer you can't refuse, okay? So if you come into the restaurant, mention the clip. The password is Hunter, okay? Hunter, not Deer Hunter, just Hunter. So if you say Hunter, when you get your bill, we're going to take 20% off the whole thing, okay? The whole thing, not the taxes, but so that includes your cocktails, your steak, your pasta, whatever. So that's our offer for you.